we going live.
All right, all right.
Going. Crown Talk 369. Big Miz from the zoo. We back again. It's been a minute. You know, some things changed. Big Miz, what you been up to lately? Tell us
Man,
some
just
about some of your adventures you've been on.
I've been actually trying to get a goal done where I can get to close to 5,000 subscribers by doing subathons, staying on live for hours on end, and trying to keep up date with the unalivings going on in the Georgia Department of Corrections. And that's a job within itself, man.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like, it. I like what you do. Georgia. Was it because you spent so much time in Georgia? You feel like some people are like your family, and it's your duty to put that out there.
Yeah, and I also have like friends, bonds that I built inside of prison, and they're still there. They have life. And I also have family, like actual blood family members that's still in the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Yeah. So you bring awareness to all that. You know. No, you make me want to do that for Maryland. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I should start doing that for Maryland.
Yeah, that would be a good look.
You gotta teach me how you do it.
Yeah, it starts off with whatever coalition that they have for that state that's standing behind the inmates. That's where they'll be sending a lot of the footage and what's going on with the conditions and the brutality. And then they'll be sending the unalivings and stuff like that too, where you can just get the information. You don't really have to just put the footage out there because
Yeah.
I've put some of the wrong footage out there and got a lot of
YouTube
what
don't
do you
like
call
that.
strikes or reprimanded by YouTube. So,
Yeah, I
but
remember.
I keep on
Yo,
going.
my
Mhm.
first my first week putting videos, doing content, I got like 2 warnings just from doing prison content, just from putting real life prison videos on here. I got two warnings, so I just stopped doing it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but today we're gonna be reacting to some of our stories. We're gonna do a live reaction, and
Live
what do you want
reaction.
to switch off? You want to do like one story of mine, and then we do one story of yours?
We can keep switching up however you feel that you want to do this.
All right, I don't even know what story this was.
6 9 straight out the rock, out the tip, out the bookings. Concrete stories, every scar got a
What did I
footnote.
got?
Welcome back to Crime Talk 369. It's me, Crime, back again with another crazy story. And listen, when I heard this story the other day, I ain't even going to lie. It hit different because anybody that's ever been locked up before, they
Hey,
already know prison is
that footage right here. I got that footage from an interview that I did with the Spanish guy. You remember me interviewing the Spanish guy that was incarcerated? He
Yeah,
sent me
yeah,
this
yeah.
video. He sent me this video right here. This one.
one of them only places on earth where you can do everything right, stay out the way, finish your sentence, and still not make it home. Now imagine this. You done counted every single day off your sentence. You already told your family you coming home. Your people probably got food waiting for you out in the car. Your girl blowing your phone up. Your mom crying happy tears. You probably laid back in your bunk. And then your cellie kills you one day before release. That's every inmate's worst nightmare right there. You see, people on the outside don't understand this part.
You see that comment, Miss?
Nah,
Well, basically they were saying the stories that we share, it brought closer to their uncle that was in prison and understanding his behaviors. That's one of the things that we be trying to do is because people on the outside they don't want to inside go through, and like I feel like when we're bringing everybody what happens in there, then why they do the things they do.
Mm. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Where's the
About
messages
prison.
at?
They think
You can't see the messages?
No,
You can't see the comments?
no, not at all.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't. Hold on, let me press this. Let me see. It says studio chat 2P.
Yeah, that's weird. Studio chat.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, you disappeared now. What the heck? I don't know what happened there. There we go. Okay, you're
All
back.
right.
What happened?
I press comments and then it put me into the email.
Oh, did you find it though?
Nah, I can't see the comments. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, well, if you got an extra phone, go into the live and you can see the comments that way.
All right, no doubt. Come on, let's take flight.
All right.
once you're close to going home, everything's sweet. Nah.
This professional 32 TW SSD, capable of holding the entire collection of the New York Public Library.
Sometimes them last few days are the most dangerous days because mentally, you're already out the door. Your guard's down, your focus is different. You thinking about real food, real beds. You thinking about hugging your family. Meanwhile, the dude in the bunk across from you got demons in his head. That's what happened in this story. This happened in New Jersey, inside Bayside State Prison. The victim's name was Martin Sanchez. And from everything reported, this man was literally 1 day away from freedom. 24 hours. That's it. One more sunrise, and he would have walked out them gates, breathing fresh air. But prison, it don't care about your release date. And prison definitely don't care if tomorrow's your freedom day. Now, before I even get into the killing, let me explain something to all y'all that never been locked up before. One of the biggest fears in prison ain't even the COs. It ain't even gangs sometimes. One of the biggest fears is getting put in a cell with the wrong person. Because once them cell doors slam, that's it. You sleeping feet away from another grown man you don't even know. You don't know his mental state. You don't know if he's violent. You don't know if he's hearing voices. You don't know if he's got life and don't care no more. You don't know if he's got problems or anger. You just don't know. You going home. And jealousy in prison, it's real. People don't talk about it enough. But when somebody's leaving, prison can take your life over the smallest things. And sometimes you don't even got to do nothing wrong. You could literally be minding your business, waiting to go home, and still end up dead because of who they assigned to your cell. Now that's terrifying. Now from reports, Bruce was eventually convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison, which honestly makes the whole story even darker when you think about it. When somebody knows you're leaving and they stuck there for years, sometimes forever, it messes with their head. They see you packing your stuff up. They hearing you on the phone telling your family, yeah, I'll be home tomorrow. Meanwhile, they trapped in a concrete box. That creates hate. Now, according to reports, Sanchez was sharing a cell with an inmate named Bruce. What investigators later found out, something happened inside that cell that turned deadly. Now imagine the atmosphere that night. A small cell, concrete walls, metal toilet. It's probably hot as hell. Tensions are thick. No cameras inside the actual cell. Just two men locked in a cage. That's another thing people don't understand about prison. Once some lights died down and them officers disappear down the tier, inmates basically living in their own world. Violence that happened is when nobody's looking. And according to reports, Sanchez ended up being beaten to death. They said blunt force trauma and neck compressions, which means this wasn't no quick accidental fight. This was personal, violent, up close. Think about how terrifying that is. You're hours away from freedom, and now you're fighting for your life inside a prison cell. Imagine Sanchez in them final moments. Maybe he tried to calm his cellie down. Maybe he's thinking it's just a normal argument. Maybe he's trying not to fight because he's so close to going home. A lot of inmates do that. Once they close to release, they avoid problems at all costs. Because the number one rule near the gate is don't crash out before freedom. But sometimes freedom never comes. Investigators later said that they found DNA evidence under Sanchez's fingernails. That means he fought back. That means this man was trying to survive. Blood evidence reportedly connected the attack too. Other inmates allegedly heard or saw parts of the situation. Now let me pause right there and say something. This is why prison stories need to be told, because people glamorize prison online now, especially these young dudes. They think prison is some tough guy camp where everybody becomes gangsters and comes home and gets respected. No.
Yo,
prison
pause
is
it, pause it,
traumatizing.
pause it.
Prison is unpredictable. One man. What?
All right. This style that you're using, right? Like I this is the first time I'm actually seeing a video like this where somebody is reacting to a situation that happened, but you're putting yourself inside the imaging. What's
Yeah,
up with
I know.
that? What type of style is that?
I don't know. I don't know. When I was making the scenes, it kept on like putting like random people in there, and like it was like the generators putting like females in there and stuff, and just like weird looking people. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna put a picture of me in there. That's what it was. I don't know.
All right. I get it. I thought you
Yeah, but like,
used-
I guess a female could watch it, but like in female camps, that stuff doesn't happen. Like it's not dangerous in female prisons like that. So I don't want to have a picture of, females in there.
yeah.
Was one day away from freedom. The other man's guaranteed himself never see freedom again. Both lives destroyed inside of one prison cell. Now, me personally, this story hit me hard because anybody that did time knows how emotional release week is. Man, people be cleaning their boots, folding their clothes, giving away soups, all their commissary, telling everybody goodbye. The whole energy around somebody going home is completely different. People smiling, people saying, stay out of trouble, don't come back here. Even the CEOs treat you different sometimes. Your mind is already on the outside. You thinking about music in the car, thinking about eating real food. You thinking about sleeping without hearing keys and screaming all night. That final night probably supposed to be the happiest night of Sanchez's incarceration. Instead, it became his last night alive.
Do you need a loan for your business? Well, if you've been around for over a year, I'm about to show you.
And imagine the family getting that phone call. That's another heartbreaking part. His family probably preparing for his release. Maybe cleaning his house. Maybe planning a nice dinner. Maybe his mother couldn't even sleep the night before because she was so excited to see her son again. Then that phone rings. She thinks it's from him. No, it's prison staff from the prison. And instead of hearing, come pick him up tomorrow, they hearing that their loved one is dead. That's pain you'll never recover from. Now, another thing that stood out to me about this case is how prison violence can actually happen so fast. 1 minute, everything's normal. The next, somebody's dead. And the scary thing about it, in prison, there is nowhere to run. People on the streets at least got space. In prison, you're trapped. If your cellie loses his mind, where you going? The cell door is locked. The walls, concrete. Officers not instantly appearing like in the movies. By the time help comes, it can be over. That's why so many inmates sleep so light. That's why so many inmates never fully recover, fully relax. That's why dudes keep weapons. That's why prison mentally changes people forever. If you constantly living in a survival mode, trust me, I know this. And this case proves exactly why. Now, another thing I started thinking about while reading this story, imagine the inmates on that tier hearing about it the next morning. Everybody's waking up expecting Sanchez to go home. Instead, they seen a medical staff, COs running, yellow tape, investigators everywhere. That changed the whole mood of a prison unit instantly. Because every inmate sitting there in their cells thinking, if that happened to him, it could happen to me. And trust me, prison stories spread fast. By lunchtime, the whole prison probably knew. Yo, they killed that dude that was supposed to go home tomorrow. That kind of story sticks with people forever. Now let's talk about something deeper too. A lot of prison violence comes from untreated mental illness, overcrowding, stress, anger, and hopelessness. And people being locked up in cages for years, that environment changes human beings. Some people completely snap mentally inside there, especially inmates with long sentences. When somebody feels like they ain't got nothing to lose, that's dangerous, very dangerous. And sometimes prison officials put people together that never should have been celled together in the first place. That's another issue, because inmates know some dudes are unstable, some dudes are predators, some dudes are violent, and some dudes can't function around others. But because prison overcrowded, they still throw people together anyways. And sometimes it ends exactly like that. I know somebody in that comment's going to say, well, what was they arguing about? The truth is, sometimes in prison, murders happen over the dumbest things imaginable. TV volume, snoring, disrespect, mental illness, jealousy, food, phone calls, gang politics, or maybe nothing at all. That's the scary part. And Sanchez never got a second chance. It took me going to prison to get my second chance. This is why I tell people these stories, so you can be prepared. He never got to hug his family. Never got to breathe free, fresh air. He never got to enjoy his release. Everything ended one night before freedom. That right there should scare every young person thinking prison's cool, because prison ain't guaranteed survival. Some people go in and never mentally recover, and some never physically recover, and some never make it out alive. So if you're watching this and you're young, stay out them streets, because once them gates close behind you, your life is no longer fully in your control. You're sleeping around strangers, eating around strangers, living around violence every day. And even if you survive prison physically, mentally, that place stay with you forever. Now, before I end this video, I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think prison do enough to protect inmates close to release? Do you think some inmates should never be celled with others? Do y'all think prison violence is getting worse in America? Because stories like this right here, this ain't entertainment to me. This is real life. This is somebody's son, somebody's family member, somebody who thought they was finally about to come home and start their new life. And instead, he died one day before freedom. It's been Crime with Crime Talk 369.
Real life story.
Stay safe, stay smart,
Real life story.
and stay out them cages.
This Crime Talk 369, prison stories on the line, New York rhythm in the spine. If you did it or you didn't, you gon' feel it in this rhyme. This.
Yo, we're gonna have to pause. We're gonna have to pause them a little bit more. And
All right, that's what I was doing. I was pausing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, we can.
You got to pause it way more to get good reactions off the whole video.
Oh, I thought we were just watching it through. I was wanting. There was so much that I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's how you get the
I
proper
know.
reaction. You know what I'm saying? The review from it, because if we see the whole thing, like we might like forget some of the important details through the whole thing if it's long enough.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of backwards too now that I think about it. If we're just watching the whole thing just throughout, then what's the reason for anybody to go watch it? You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, true indeed. True indeed.
All right, so you want to watch one of yours? Which one you want to do yours?
We have to go and look at the videos, and I'll pick one of the newer ones.
All right, give me a second. Let me go to your page real quick.
All right. Now let me.
You got any interviews coming up?
Yeah, I have interview with Sabrina tomorrow. This same
Oh, that's the trans.
transgender.
That's the trans one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I have one with her tomorrow, and then I'm supposed to be doing this little secret one.
Secret
This
one.
little, yeah, I got to make sure it's confirmed before I put it out there, but
Okay.
it should be good.
There's your videos. Which one you want to do?
Let me see what I go down a little bit. I'm gonna go to where I started changing up my video format. Right there. Hold on. There, I'm sitting up there like I'm pressing the screen and scrolling down. Go back up, bro. All right, right there. Hold on.
Which one?
It says Matt Jackers. Yeah, it should say surviving the whole part
Part
one.
one. All right.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on?
Yo,
What's
when you
going
want me to
on?
pause
It's
it,
your boy Big Miz from the
just
zoo.
put up your
And
finger or something. Do
this
like that.
situation right here, this story time, is about how I survived isolation, the hole in the Georgia Department of Corrections, and these level 5 camps, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man, it gets real serious, real dangerous.
I like it how
And
you
when
did
they
the
put
wording
you
right
in a
there.
hole, especially the time that I spent in a hole, over 5.5 months, I just heard so many things. I met so
Where'd
many
you get that
different
picture at?
people. The things that
That
I
picture,
heard yelling
Yeah.
out of the different doors,
I forgot, man. I got it off
and
the internet
me just
somewhere.
walking in circles
Is
when I
that a
was in the
real?
cell by
Is that the
myself,
real hole?
and the things that I went
Yeah,
through, the emotional
It
ups
looks
and
crazy.
downs, and the people that fell off in my cell,
You
bro.
ain't coming. You ain't getting out of those doors.
I'm gonna take y'all on a ride, man. Y'all pay attention, because everybody's situation ain't your situation. But here go mine. Check it out. Okay, first situation first. Look, it was a problem in the dorm that we was having with another association, another gang, and really
all
it
right,
felt like
pause it
we can
real
just
quick.
handle this like with
Pause it real quick. I for the beginning part that I'm about to do is like for people to know, I'm going to take y'all step by step from the time that I came into the hole until I'm in the hole, and I'm going to give people like an insight on how I kicked it once I got back there. So that's what this beginning is about.
So this is when you just got into the hole.
Yeah, I'm about to explain about the situation that brought me there, and then we're gonna be in the room.
All right.
like a 5-on-5 type of thing at the time, because everybody wasn't slinging iron too crazy in this dorm. Like people was respecting each other enough to start the fighting, but after a while, like we started down bad in these other dudes or whatever, and they started pulling out tools, so we started pulling out tools. It got real crazy. But an officer was in the dorm. He was just in the bathroom. But when he came out the bathroom, he started banging on the glass, trying to get our attention.
Oh,
This nigga even started flashing his flashlight
You put
and
this on there?
like waving it on the wall to see if we was going to stop. Nah, we didn't stop. All you just hear people yelling like, yo, eat, 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 yo, eat. And we going at it, bro.
For doing that?
And next thing you know, you
man.
hear that door click. Boom. So many officers is running in there. People trying to scatter, hit their cell, try to act like they wasn't involved in the situation. But they peep game a little bit. They looking at shirts, checking for blood spots and stains and everything, and see if we have any scratches or knots on us. And they was pulling us up out of the dorm. And that's what sent me to the hole with a couple fresh charges because I was in the wrong dorm at the wrong time. And I also got like lying, instruction of an officer, failure to follow instructions, and assault on an inmate. And you go to the hole, you know you're going to lose that DR. They're never going to tell you that you won. So I said, man, I'm about to make this my home for a minute. And now I'm in the hole. And how Georgia go, you go to one side of the building first, where you can have roommates and everything. You still got your commissary and all that. And if you're over there long enough, you probably can shoot to the store before they send you to the other side where you're in isolation by yourself.
You said they let you
But while I was over there pending DR court, man, I went through so many changes. Like I
know, I'm gonna pause it for a second. I know the prison I was at, and anytime you went to the hole, they took everything. You in there, no commissary. People in there starving.
Like see, we go to one side first. We got to get sentenced back there because you go to a court.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you go back there and you're sitting there, and then when you go to your sentencing, and they finally sentence you to the whole time, then they take.
Yeah, they're gonna take all your stuff from you.
Okay, so it's different up here. You stay in your pod, and you got to go up for your ticket. And if you get found guilty, then they take you to the hole. As soon as you go in the building, they taking everything.
I'll be in the cell with my cards or whatever. I'm doing push-ups off the table. Then I'll do them off the ground. I'm trying to do dips. I'm sitting there writing literature. I'm writing half of a book. I'm writing rhymes. I'm doing all the above just to keep my mind steady and keep myself sane. But bro, the times that I laid...
You were just talking about what you were doing in the cell, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I wish people on the outside, like they knew when you're in the hole, like there's nothing to do in there at all. Like you're in there, you can be in there for months and you have nothing in there, just concrete, you know, and that's the only thing to do is to work out.
Yeah, you got to find a routine for yourself. Like we can get books by the runarounds, like the orderlies in the hole, when they be asking for hot water and ice, ask them to get a book.
But you know that stuff takes time. You can't just go down there and be like, I want a book. You know, you might be asking for a book for a week before you get one.
Yeah, that's possible. Or you start yelling on the door for people who already got books inside the hole that been in there, and then they'll send you up one.
Yeah, that too.
Down, and I really want to just sit and dwell in my thoughts to get my mind right, or just take myself out there. All I hear is stuff like this, man.
Turn 8, you pussy motherfucker. Who won't respect a nigga that did that? Get this. Show niggas you're a GC Moolah. Come out your cell,
boy,
cut niggas, and
it be crazy, man. I start to laughing and everything, like, yo, these cats is wild as I don't know what, man. But this is a non-stop reoccurrence. Like, every chance they get, they're locking somebody up. And these people be mad about the situation. They be like, man, why the hell I'm going to the hole? Why I gotta go to the hole, man? Like, cats is writing kites on me. Man,
where'd you get that sound clip from?
And I hear the door slammed and dudes be yelling out the cell.
That sound clip, where's that from? What video is that from? That sounded crazy.
Yeah, I go and I find, like, I look up the stuff that I need and I find the actual good audio of it. I strip the audio from the video and I use it.
cell, and they be like,
Y'all talk like bitches. Y'all blog about niggas. Y'all gossip about business. That's not y'all business. Mind your business. What you eat,
and
I'm not shit.
basically that's how I be knowing that kites be getting flown, cats be writing kites to the administration. They try to get niggas to move around and all that. I didn't really think that that was a real thing, but yes, these cats do be snitching. They will dry snitch right in front of you. Some of them don't really care. Like, they real police. Like, I'm talking about real model inmates, and they will tell the law what you're doing right in front of your face. I mean, so a lot of people get knocked off that way. Their phones get snatched. They work get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll make sure that the COs come in there and wipe your nose clean and then send you swaying where you probably pending investigation or something, man. Like, but you always hear like 2 times a day somebody coming in for a situation where they fighting, and now they mad, they behind the door looking out the cell window as people walking past, and they saying stuff to people, or the officer might pull up, and a nigga be mad. They don't be having no respect for these officers. Like, you can walk past and get into a situation like this.
Did I ask you for help?
What do you need? What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
The fuck you looking at, bitch? The fuck is wrong with you, you goofy bitch?
Yeah,
Did I ask you for fucking help?
crazy, right?
Did I ask you for help?
But the craziest part of it all, man.
Oh, we gotta
I'm not
pause
gonna
that,
lie.
man. We gotta pause that. That was a situation that you gonna see in the hole.
Yeah, all the time, man.
I know anytime when I was in the hole a lot in prison. Anytime and in jail. But anytime somebody new was coming into the hole, they bringing them in. You hear the sally port open, the big doors. You just jump out of bed, you run, and just because nothing ever goes on in there. So you hear a little sound, you going straight to the door to go be nosy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people fighting out the doors. That was our entertainment. I ain't gonna lie. I remember laying back in my bunk and just listening to people argue through the cell doors. That was my entertainment.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what you're explaining right here.
Yeah, all the stuff that I'm hearing out of that cell. Like, it gets deeper as the different clips that I put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets deeper and deeper as the days go by. This is just like the first day of me being in the hole.
Okay.
When I go back and I be in the hole, bro, it be just like on mainline, like when I be in like the general population. I'm funny about my cellmates, man. Like, I'm real selective about my cellmates. If you wasn't deaning and you wasn't real right, you not coming in my cell. It would be like I'm running the interview for cats when they come. Like, boy.
Hold on, let's pause that. So explain that.
I kind of spoke to you about this before we went live one day. Like,
You talking about that one day?
Yeah, like, I don't allow people to dictate how my time is going to be. So if I'm in the cell and people come to my cell, like in the hole, they come frequently. They keep coming until they get released or shipped somewhere. If I'm going to be back in the hole for a long time, I see a lot of people come through, and I don't be letting them dudes in, man. Like, off the rip, I start talking to them.
Basically, you said that they ain't Muslim, they ain't coming in there.
And if they not real right, if you're not real right, like, you're not coming in there with me.
I mean, you gotta, you're gonna be in there for like, for how long? Sometimes it be months. You want to make sure it's a celly that you get along with.
Exactly. I was in that side for like 2 months, and then they finally sent me to DR court and act like that was my first day. You know what I'm saying? Being over there. I said I was over there for 60 days. They was like, well, we find you guilty for assault on an inmate, guilty for failure to follow instructions, guilty for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then they sentenced me to 90 more days. You know what I'm saying? So I was hit.
Coming to my cell, had an officer opening the door, and as they come in, I'm treating you just like you in the interview process, man. I be lining niggas up like,
Drewski, how you doing?
You got your fucking mind, nigga?
No, I'm not in my mind.
Fuck out of here, bitch.
Come over, yo.
Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here. For real. Let's be real, dog.
What's going down, Drew?
Looks like Easy getting the fuck out of here.
Hey, it's free.
Yep.
Hey, it's free.
Looks like Easy.
My name's Free Sullivan.
Get the fuck out of here, Jerry Curl. Dumbass. Who the fuck still does a Jerry Curl in 2023, bitch? You still doing Jerry Curls? What'd you do that for?
Superhero, yeah, superhero.
I ain't gonna cut it.
Throwing back them beans, bitch. I'm trying to get my dick to
Appreciate that, man. Thank you, dog.
What the? Yeah, oh, really?
I don't do beans, nigga. I don't do pills. And I don't support niggas who do pills either. Dope head. Give a fuck how long you waited in that line. I'm not.
and that's exactly how I'm coming, bro.
Hold on.
That's
So how are you putting them out of your cell? Are you physically putting them out?
Yeah, like when they come into the door, they're usually just walking in. They already got their handcuffs on, and they got to close the door and they put their hands through to unlock it. And I'm talking to them as the door opens. I sit up and I be talking to them like, "Yo, what you in here for? Hold on, tell me right now before you come. What you in here for?" You know what I'm saying? But when I wanted to display it, I was like, let me find the best way to ease the dislike and all that for the way I be coming. You know what I'm saying? And make it a little bit lighter. So I was like, what's already working out there? And I went surfing and I was like, yo, Drewski is disrespectful in this little thing that he doing his series when he's interviewing people, but he still got a comedy hue with it. And so I just went with that. Like, if it wasn't broken, don't try to fix it. I mean, and he was doing good, so I just followed suit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was funny. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I'm coming. But I know if you're a vet, if you're a chain gang vet and you slide up in the cell, you got a phone and I can jump up on it sometimes like look through the internet or, you know what I'm saying, do something to pass the time. But I'm always in a relationship and I be getting caught up, bro. Like, you don't know, man, the things that we go through while being incarcerated and you doing some years. And you might reach out to your girl, man, and she's going through all these emotional changes, and this will really make your time hard, bro. When you go and do one of these calls, man,
I never
you be like,
meant to fall out of love
damn.
with you because I truly did love you. I still do, but not in the same way. Not in the way that would make it fair for me to stay. I'm sorry things couldn't stay the same. Maybe we can be friends again someday. One day. You know I love you. I'm sorry that I said I didn't earlier.
And you really don't know what to do. Like, you want to do more push-ups. You want to pick up that water bag and start throwing that all around. I mean, like, it's so many things that can happen outside in the world that can change your whole insight of how you're looking at prison. It can turn you into a stress box. You can have depression going on. And already it's too much violence in each cell, man. Like, you hear it going on. Like, inside the different cells, all you got to do is be quiet and just listen, and you'll hear it.
No idea what the fuck I deal with every fucking day. I fight demons every goddamn day of my life. And you have no idea what the fuck I deal with.
It doesn't make any sense. The only good times that I can say that I have in the cell is when somebody comes in my cell, right? And they might be talented. And you can wake up and this cat is hitting the beat or something, making some music, and you be like, yo, like, this dude talented as hell. They be going all the way in.
I never leave my brothers. I don't care what they do or say. Sitting in my cell, holding back tails, thinking about the ones who ain't make it. Growing up, we had it hard.
But you gotta be mindful that those good times, boy, they go away.
Even though we
Everybody
made
is like
mistakes,
one man, one
now I can't
armband type
blame
of thing. Like
us.
you will
We go
disperse
our
from
ways,
somebody
people tried
eventually.
to claim us,
So you gotta
so
protect
we
your
ended
heart
up chained
and all that.
up.
Yeah, you can
Lost a
become
couple
brothers with
people
somebody in
along
there,
the
being
way,
around them
some
for a
died,
long
some
time and
made
everything.
us. But if
But
it ain't
especially
broke,
in the
don't
hole, if you're
fix it.
back in the hole,
Robbery and murder
that
went
person's
against
going
the
to disappear
kids.
quick because they
Say
either
that's in
getting transferred somewhere
2018.
or they
When we
going
used
back
to
to
race down
population and y'all might
Cardi.
not go
I
on the
ain't got no
same
feelings
day.
in a
And if
long
y'all do, y'all
time.
might go
Lately
into
I've
two
been drunk
different
on the
dorms. So
codeine.
just be
I'm trying to take it
mindful
off the
that you
wall.
can't
Now when
just
we
try
out
to
drinking
click up and
champagne,
just be
told me you
super
wasn't coming.
easy to
How's it going,
be
Necro?
looking at somebody as your brother while you're in there because there'd be so much going on and you don't
Blue?
really know who you're dealing with. This is the chain gang. People came there for reasons and they probably still working on those reasons, man. That's why when I'm in the hole, I usually am working on myself and I'm trying to self-rehabilitate and make sure that I know all the tricks to the trade to get things to my cell, whether I'm fishing things from different cells or whatever, making sure I'm up for all my
Yeah, I
meals.
remember
I got to
fishing.
save some of my lunch for later
Tearing
on
the
in the
bed sheet
nighttime
up.
if I don't got no
Man, I used to
commissary like
hold on, I'm
that.
gonna pause it.
And just
Man, I remember when I was in prison, I used to have like 3 different fishing lines at all times. I used to keep them wrapped up and right beside the sink. And basically, what it is I would get like an empty soda bottle drink. I fill it up with water, and I'll get I'll rip the sheet up into like straps, and I would tie them together like a big long rope. I tie it to the bottle, and basically, when you want to get to another cell, you go under your cell door and you try to throw it, as far as you can. Try to get as close as you can to their cell, and they might have a fish line. They might throw it out there and try to like connect it with yours to bring it into their cell. That's how we used to do it. But I know the CO, man, the CO was doing rounds and he came up and he seen your fishing line. If he was an asshole, man, he snatched it up. Threw it in the trash.
Yeah, they always do that. They like doing that.
Yeah. And don't have nothing, no contraband hooked onto it because you're going to the hole.
just make sure that I got like a proper routine so I can rest good when these cats is quiet and be up when they yelling and acting crazy, man. I just really look at solitude as a time to get
Yo,
yourself right.
what's the craziest thing you seen while you was in the hole?
The craziest thing I seen,
Yeah.
when our flap was broke and I was fighting this dude about a tattoo that he had gave me. Somebody was getting stabbed up while me and him was fist fighting, and I was holding him down, and I hear somebody screaming like that. And I told dude, I'm gonna let him go to the back wall. I want to see what's going on. That's way more important than us sitting here fighting about this tattoo. And I saw the dude like he was trying to get somebody's attention, putting his hands out the flap, and then they got brought back in. Then you just hear him screaming for his life. You know what I'm saying? He actually he killed the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what it was over?
I don't even know. I didn't even know them two dudes.
The craziest thing I seen, I'm not even joking with you. The cell next door to me when I was in the hole, I think I told you before, but the guy, he was arguing with a correctional officer, and matter of fact, he had his hand out the food tray. They had to put it up before they can leave. If the CO doesn't put it up, then they can't leave out. Well, if he didn't want to, and he cuffed his hands up and put it behind him, and he crapped in his hand and threw it at the CO, and it went everywhere. So it went all over like the bars, the railings. It was crap all over the railings. It went downstairs because we were on the second tier. It was everywhere. I remember a guy. He was sitting there. He was like, "Ew." He was like, "What the hell? There's shit in front of my cell door. What the hell's going on up there?" They had
That's
bring
crazy.
an
That's
inmate in
nasty.
there to clean it up.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's crazy work. That's really crazy. That's nasty shit, though.
Somebody said, "Were you guys ever cellmates with a serial killer?" not a serial killer.
Yes, I have been.
You have
I
been?
have. Yes.
I've been in the cell with people that killed like one person.
I've been in there with a serial killer. We was both what is they called? Like floaters. Oh, sleepers. We both were sleepers. And I noticed a whole bunch of tattoos going up his arm and up his side of portraits of people. And some of the people at the top looked like they were all sleeping, like closed eyes, portraits of different women and stuff like that. And then when it went down his side and towards his stomach, like the people's eyes was open real wide and stuff. And I thought it was weird. So I asked the man, like, why does he have them type of tattoos? And he told me, oh, these right here, boss. He's like, oh, these are my favorite kills, man. And he started speaking about the situations. And I got up out of the bed because I was reading a book. I couldn't even sleep. And like I was in there with him for like a week and a half before I even asked him. I mean, so I didn't even know what type of danger I could have been in. But I didn't go to sleep all night. And he got released to go. Well, he got shipped to a different camp or whatever, like 5 o'clock that morning or 4 o'clock or something that morning. I was glad, man.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Did he ever? Nah, bro. Did he ever take an attempt on your life in the cell?
Nah, not at all.
Now the guy I was in the cell with, he was my first cellie when I went to prison, and but he wasn't a serial killer. He only killed one person. He killed his baby mama was cheating on him, and he shot the dude and killed him. It was a young guy, you know. He was cool though. It was like being in the cell with my little brother.
Yeah, and mind you, look, before you even press play on there, this ending part, I don't care what nobody say if y'all be fronting and all that, but I know coming back from a good visitation and all that, or you start thinking about your girl after getting off the phone with her, you be just like this. Don't get it twisted. I
You ready
know.
for me to play? You ready for me
Yeah,
to play
go
it?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't fall into your thoughts though, where you start thinking about all the things that you regret, and then you start talking to yourself and getting down on yourself and all that, man, because that's not the way to go. If you have to do time and you get in trouble while incarcerated and go to the hole, find a safe space for yourself and make sure the people that you're dealing with outside in the free world, make sure you let them know that you appreciate everything that comes your way, that you're appreciative, and that you're going to make sure you work on yourself before you get out so you won't be making the same mistakes that you did while you was in there or that got you there. And if you was a good dude, man, you was a good man, and your girl is out there going through all those emotional roller coasters and flipping back and forth, if you was real right out there, man, she'll come back to you and you'll be sitting in the bed thinking about your release date and you'll be over there singing, boy, happy as hell. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. I just wanted to throw a little something out there, let y'all know what it'd be like for me when I be in the hole, man. This is Big Miz, surviving the hole. Y'all be easy, y'all. Peace.
So how many of there? How many is there?
It's quite a few of them.
That smile on your face makes it easy.
This how cats be after they visits.
The girl with the tattoo.
Never got no visits while I was locked up.
Don't know what you're doing just to get to where you're going. Yeah, I see, baby. Please don't lose. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just how they be, man.
Yeah. So how many of those?
I
you got
built
so
a Wix
far?
website overnight, and it helped launch.
How many of those do you have so far?
Like 4.
And they're all like just your days in the hole?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do a whole series of them. You know what I'm saying? Until the day that I'm released out the hole.
What's the longest time you spend in the hole?
I think 6 months.
The longest time I spent in the hole was 2 months. I was behind the door for like almost a year though. I was behind the door for almost a year. I was in the cell by myself. That really gets to you. I ain't gonna lie. You start talking to yourself and everything.
What is behind the door? What is that supposed to mean?
Basically, you get in so many fights. Every time you get into a fight with somebody, they go on your enemy list. Say like me and you having problems in the pod, and me and you we get into a fight. They take both of us to the hole. When we get out, they might put me in A pod. They might put you in B pod. Now I can't never go to your pod. I can't be in the same pod with you. So if you saw a person that always getting in fights, basically you're gonna get to a point where you can't go to any pod. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, so they had you there.
Yeah, behind the
Yeah.
door. Basically, I couldn't be at. I was in the pod and I had an enemy in there, and I couldn't come out because we were on the enemy list.
Mm.
So I couldn't come out until he left.
Yeah, I know what that be like. I know what that be like. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it drives you crazy sitting in there by yourself. All
Yeah,
right,
and
I'm
let's
gonna play.
yeah, I'm about to say let's jump into one of your stories.
Yeah, I got this story right here. This is a good one. All right, if you want me to pause it, just say it.
Straight out the rock, out the tip, out the bookings. Concrete stories, every scar got a footnote.
Have you ever trust somebody in prison and it cost you everything? I'm talking about money, respect, peace of mind, all of it. Because in there, one mistake don't just hurt your pockets. It can get you hurt for real. And this right here, this was one of them lessons I had to learn the hard way. When you locked up, your life turned into a loop. You wake up the same every day. The trays you eat is the same every day. Same COs yelling. 15 minutes to lockdown. Same cell doors slamming every day. Day after day. It all starts to blend together. You don't even know what day it is half the time. The only thing that really changes is movement and the
And you know
contraband.
what? That really is true. You be in jail when you're in jail. Well, not prison, but jail. You don't even know what day it is half the time. Like, you don't know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because they just start to mix together. You ever get that feeling?
Yeah, sometime I get lost in the sauce. If I'm just really into the jail thing, I lose sight of the days.
Yeah, I mean prison's different because you got calendars and stuff in there, but in jail you don't have nothing. Oop. Oh man, I hit the wrong
Peace of
button.
mind, all of it.
Did I?
Because
Oh,
in
no.
there, one mistake don't just hurt your pockets. It can get you hurt for real. And this right here, this was one of them lessons I had to learn the hard way. When you locked up, your life turned into a loop. You wake up the same every day. The trays you eat is the same every day. Same COs yelling. 15 minutes to lockdown. Same cell doors slamming every day. Day after day. It all starts to blend together. You don't even know what day it is half the time. The only thing that really changes is movement and the contraband. That's it. Everything else, it feels like you stuck in a dungeon.
Yeah,
So in
exactly.
prison, you got two choices.
That's
Either you
definitely
invest
wrong.
your time or you waste it. Same inmates work out every day, read books, try to level up mentally. Others, they hustling because one thing about prison, money still runs everything. And a lot of inmates got money sitting on their cash apps, waiting for the day they come home. And
Yeah, that right there, that's true. I ain't gonna lie. Money runs everything in prison. Like when you're in there, everybody's gonna have a hustle. You're gonna have some people. You're gonna have a guy that knows how to sew clothes up real good. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna, hey, I can sew your clothes up. Send me $5 of food. I got you. You have a guy that tattoos. You're gonna have a guy who resells food bags. You got the drug trade in there. It does.
Yeah, that's a
This
fact.
particular prison, the main drugs moving were Suboxone strips. We call the OJ as a nickname in K2. Now on the streets, a Suboxone strip might go for like $5, $7. In jail or prison, $300 easy. That's how crazy it gets. Because when you stuck in a place like that, people pay anything to escape reality for a few hours. And that's where all the hustlers come in. I had
That's
just
true.
got a new
That's true right there. You see all these people calling home, and they try to play it off. They be like, "Hey, I need some food," because you can't call home and be like, "Hey," you can't call your mom and be like, "Hey, can I get some money for the drug man?" She ain't gonna do that. They'll tell them anything. They'll tell them they're gonna get beat up or anything. People do all that all the time. You seen stuff like that?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. That's Chain Gang Gang. Yeah, I know all about it.
Different world.
new cellmate. His name was D. He came straight out the hole. And when I tell you, this dude was addicted to K2. I mean bad. He'd be calling his family every day, begging for money. When that didn't work, he traded all of his commissary, his foods, his snacks, everything gone. He asking me for food just to get high. I seen him smoke and just fade out. Eyes low, body slumped. If he holding coffee, he spilling it everywhere. Food in his hand, he dropping it like he don't even feel it. He wasn't even there
And that was supposed to be a
mentally.
hookup right
That's
there.
when you really see what prison does to people. Around the same time, another inmate hit the tier. His name was Zach, a white dude, face tats.
Hey, you
claiming
want to know
crip.
something? When I tell the real life story, Zach, that's what he actually looked like. Like, I can't believe how good they got his features.
Uh-huh.
But he wore that little beanie right there. He had all the tattoos on his face, and he had the curly hair. He looked exactly like that, right? The dude that ripped me off. That's not the actual person. Get people to. It's generated. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what. Well, I know what he looks like, but I can't. I can use a photo of him. Can you?
Yes, you can use a photo of anybody. That's how they get you.
Yeah, but he can't get out. I was thinking he might get out of prison and be like, "Oh, you're making me look bad. I'm gonna sue you." They can do that, can't they?
Or defamation of character.
Yeah. I mean, but it really happened though.
Yeah, if it goes against like his career and it hurts his pockets, like yeah, you can go to civil court for defamation
Well,
of character.
I think
If he
that would
has,
hurt anybody's pockets, being labeled a thief.
nah, I'm saying he has to have a career, is what I'm saying. Like
Oh yeah.
he has to be losing something. It has to be going against something. And you're stopping that by putting this ridicule and lies and rumors out. And it has to prove better than a reasonable doubt that you are not telling the truth. And then they'll penalize you.
The same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
First day on the block, he yelling out the cell door. I got OJ for sale. I'm listening like, all right, he plugged in. I chop it up with him a couple times. He seems solid. In my head, I'm thinking, this is an opportunity. At that time, I didn't really have a solid plug. I didn't have people sending me money. You gotta hustle. I do what you gotta do sometimes. So I'm thinking, if I can get in the cell with him, I can level up, start making some real money. So during rec, I go up to him. Zach, I'm trying to move in the cell with you. Say less. 2 days later, they moving us in. Now it's go time. I tell him straight up while we in the cell, I'm trying to get plugged in. I'm trying to get where you is. Tells me his cousin got the connections, but he's in another pod in the same building. And he don't deal with a lot of people. And he says, Send the money through me. I'll handle it. Plus, you're gonna get a discount because he's thinking he's dealing with family. You just break me off a little bit. Now listen, usually you never do that, but I'm thinking we in the same gang, we in the same cell. What could go wrong? So I send it through Cash App. I send my last $1,000 I had, and now I'm waiting on 15 strips. That's the play. That's the come up. At first, everything felt solid. We chilling, watching TV. Matter of fact, we was watching 60 Days In and Ghost Hunters, just sitting there chilling, doing tattoos on each other, laughing.
For anybody watching right now, I'm interviewing somebody from 60 Days In. Hopefully later on tonight or tomorrow. But it was from season 9, the Nina. She was the white girl with the short blonde hair. If you watch season 9, I'm interviewing her.
Eating good.
David Trone was at the abortion clinic. Protesters were yelling at people. And David says in his big, booming voice,
Yeah, he was. He was claiming
with your name on it, just by thinking of.
Back then I was running the Crips.
About it. Meet Base 44, a complete.
We had commissary stacked up. We had a couple of strips to hold us over. And I'm thinking, yeah, I made the right decision. Yeah, I made the right move. But then days pass, then a week, then 2 weeks. And every time I ask that, Zach, I keep getting the same answer. I'm gonna hit my cousin. I'm gonna check on it. Don't worry, I got you. Now I'm starting to feel it. Something ain't right. Finally, he brings me something. He brings me 2 strips. That's it. Out of 15. I'm looking at it like, yeah, this ain't adding up. But I still keep it solid. I even broke them off piece just to show him love. But in my head, this ain't going how it's supposed to. Not at all. Another week go by. Nothing. Now it's time to talk. I tell him straight. I appreciate what you gave me so far, but where's the rest of my stuff? I don't want no more excuses. No more talking. I tell him, when them cell doors pop for Rick, you better fix this. Either my product comes, what I paid for, or my money comes back on Cash App. And before something turns physical, you got to run it up the chain, especially when it's with your own group of people. So I told the homies what was going on, so everybody already knew. If he don't make it right, he getting checked. Rec time comes. The cell doors pop. We all out. I'm watching them. I'm on the second tier with the homies. I already got them on point. He on the phone. He's going to people's cells.
Yeah.
He's talking to the
That's
door.
The thing about it, it's like when I'm explaining it, this happened within like a month. Probably within a month. But it's like I couldn't tell, that I was getting played at first. I really couldn't tell. Because I feel like at first he was trying to get it, but maybe something went left or something. I don't know what happened. But yeah. I didn't see it coming. I didn't. Because back then I trusted everybody in my organization. I trusted. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever feel that way, Miss?
Yeah.
Like when you're dealing with another Muslim, you're Muslim, right? You're not thinking, you're like, oh, he Muslim, I'm Muslim, he ain't gonna play with me. That's how I was thinking. Like, we in the same thing. He ain't gonna play with me.
See, I didn't think that way. I knew these cats came to prison for certain reasons and all that, man. Like only their character can be the thing that proves them to be who they are. And I didn't involve myself or put my property up to find out if they would do that to me.
Yeah, well, it's just like, you have to go through a situation to learn from it. But like I was a little bit more trusting of like, because you got to think when you're in an organization, if you're in the Bloods, the Crips, or whatever, and you're in prison and you do another gang member dirty that's in your same, man, they will chop you up. You get, well, not chopped up, but you get DP'd and all that. Like there's punishments for that. So usually it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
moving around. I'm sitting there thinking in my head, all right, he must be trying to fix it. I must have scared him a little bit. Then I see it. He starts walking towards the CO bubble. And right there, I knew. I said, ain't no way.
And look, at the same point, I know if I put my hands on him, I'm probably not getting my stuff. If it gets to that point, I'm not getting my stuff. Because either I'm gonna put my hands on him and he's gonna get off the pod. By that time, you know you ain't getting your stuff.
He goes up to the officer and he says he fears for his life. Next thing you know, they escort him out. Just like that, gone. Protective custody, PC. And I'm standing there watching my money walk out the building. I lost it.
That's crazy.
I started yelling out of anger. I felt played, betrayed. I was making a whole scene because in that moment, it wasn't just about money. It was betrayal. My homie Taz, he ran the Crips for our part.
But you gotta think, like back then, anytime we did something in the cell, I made a hookup or anything, made food, man, I gave him half of it. Like I looked out for this guy. It's crazy. If I would have got all that stuff, I still would have been looking out for him. So that's why it just like it don't make sense in my head why somebody be that greedy. Because we could make money, and then we can invest in more stuff and make more money. You know what I'm saying? But he messed it up. He wasn't thinking that way. He was thinking, "Oh, I just want it all, just this one time and out."
God, he pulled me to the side, looked me dead in my face, and he said, "Bosses are going to take losses." But deep down, I didn't want to hear that. But deep down, I knew he was right. That situation taught me something I'll never forget. In prison, you cannot trust anybody. I don't care if y'all in the same cell, if y'all in the same gang, or if y'all got the same background. I don't care if y'all family. None of that matters. Because when people get desperate, they do desperate things. Word got around quick. He basically put a target on himself. If he ever came off a PC, it wasn't going to be good for him. But at that point, it didn't even matter to me no more. The lesson was already learned. That's why I tell these stories, not to glorify it, but to show you the truth. Because prison ain't what people think it is. It's not a game. It's not a movie. It's survival. It's every man for himself. And one wrong decision, one wrong person can cost you everything. So if you're out there thinking about that life, thinking about being tough, thinking about doing something that could land you in a place like that, don't. It's not worth it. Because not everybody's built for it. And trust me, you don't want to learn lessons the way I did. As always, I'm Crime, and you already know the message we're pushing. Stay up out of them streets and stay out of them prisons. They always got a bid for you. They ain't running out of bids anytime soon.
Crime Talk 369, prison stories on the line, New York rhythm in the spine. If you did it or you did.
Yeah.
Yo, that blue bear or whatever. What is that? A monster thing?
Yeah, that's my mascot. That's a little mascot thing. No, I don't remember where I got it from. Man, why is it doing that? I don't remember where I got it from. Hey, I think we're gonna take a break on this, and we can restart it like later. I gotta do this interview, but I gotta text you. I gotta text you. We didn't get that many people in this live. We didn't get anybody in here, man. I don't know if it's because I hit entertainment. You get to pick your category. We usually do people and blogs. You picked entertainment. Maybe that was the wrong thing to choose.
Oh, see, yeah. Now it's starting to jump. I didn't even look at the people on here on the phone.
Man, we didn't get past 10 people in here, man. we probably got like 40 people this whole live.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Like we're coming in through a different platform too. You know what I'm saying?
That's why?
It got to get used to us coming in through this type of platform.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, the YouTube knows if you're coming in through a mobile device and then through
So
a laptop.
you saying right now, if we got on our phones and got in like how we used to, it's gonna be completely different.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I like this. We can keep doing our stories and stuff. Make some episodes out of it.
Yo, we can tap into so many type of
Yeah, we can do
videos
reactions to other people's stuff.
and yeah, and different discussions and stuff like that, and get notoriety for coming on tag team in different situations and all that. So don't get discouraged. You know what I mean?
You know what? I never really ever see that. You see how people do reaction channels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen two people do it. Have you?
Have I seen two people
I've
react?
never seen two people do it. It's only been one person in a little box.
Well, a lot of time if it's streamers, they might be in the same frame because they're in the same room together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they jumping on if they are IRL, then they're putting their joint discords together, and I forgot the name that they call it when they use each other's platforms and merge them.
Yeah.
But they can do that for Twitch.
Hold on, you can do that?
Yeah, for Twitch you can.
Oh, that's how you got like they be having like little gangs and stuff on there. Little
Yeah,
clips.
all different type of stuff or whatever.
Yeah. All right, though, we're gonna go ahead and end that here. How long we been in here? An hour?
Yeah, hour and 11 minutes.
An hour. An hour, 40p with an hour. That's gonna be crazy. All right, though. Thank you everybody for coming. And what you want to do this tomorrow or later tonight?
Yo, it's up to you. Like I'm about to probably try to put this other video together. Like that's what I was gonna be doing anyway.
When I get done my interview, I'll just hit you up and see if you're down.
All right, no problem.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Thank you everybody for joining. And yeah, check out the if you like the stories, check them out. Go to our pages and check them out.